If you want to take better photos with your smartphone, or if you want to get the most out of your smartphone camera, then you need to start shooting in the manual mode. Once you switch to manual mode, you will be able to see three different settings that you can adjust. They are the aperture, shutter speed and the ISO. These three are the three pillars of photography. Shutter speed. It controls the speed at which your camera is taking images. If you want to freeze a fast moving subject like a car or a running child or a pet, then you need to shoot your images at a high shutter speed. But if you want to take images that look like this, then you need to shoot your images at a slower shutter speed. This chart here will help you to understand shutter speed even more. When you are shooting at a high shutter speed, you will be able to freeze your subject. But at the same time, less light will be entering the sensor of the camera and there is a higher chance that your image can get underexposed. But while shooting at a slower shutter speed, the sensor of the camera will be exposed to light for a longer period of time, and because of this, there is a higher chance that your image can get blown out or overexposed. So always remember, once you set your shutter speed, then you always need to adjust the aperture and ISO of your camera to get a properly exposed image. Aperture. Aperture refers to the size of the opening on the lens. By looking at this chart here, you can get a better understanding of aperture and the different f-stop values. Smaller the f-stop value, wider is the opening on the lens. For example, at f1.4, the lens is wide open and it is letting a lot of light into the camera sensor. And at the same time, you will be getting a shallow depth of field, that is, the background of the image that you're taking will be blurry, but the subject that is in front of your camera will be in sharp focus. But at f32, the opening on the lens will be very small and lot less light will be entering the sensor of the camera, and everything in front of the camera will be in sharp focus. Smaller f-stop values are always preferred for taking portraits. ISO is the sensitivity of the camera to light. By increasing ISO, you are artificially increasing the brightness of the image. From these sample shots, you can see that as the value of ISO increases, the brightness of the image also increases. But increasing the ISO way too much can ruin the look of the image. For example, this image here was shot at 25,600 ISO, and you can see a lot of grains in this image, and this is called as noise. But when I took the same image at a lower ISO, the look of the image has improved a lot. So let's summarize everything by looking at an example. Let's say you want to take the picture of a car passing by or something that's moving. Then you need to go for a faster shutter speed, and then you need to adjust the aperture and the ISO of the camera such that your image is properly exposed. With that, I'll be winding up for today. See you guys next time. Until then, stay safe and take care.